So I think it's time to start getting this 5.3 ready to be prepped to test fit into the truck. But before I put it in the truck, I want to do some cleaning on it. It's a junkyard engine. I don't know anything about it. I think it's like a 2003. Supposedly it was running. Nobody knows. Well, I've seemed to run into a little issue. Trying to roll this outside, the wheels seem to have bent backwards on this engine stand, which is pretty cool. So let me get that figured out real quick. That engine stand is a piece of shit. Just the wheels. Alright, so this engine still is pretty filthy. Lots of grime on it. I'm probably going to work on it for another half hour or so. I'm not going to film the whole thing because that'll be boring. So I'll catch up to you guys when I'm done with that. Alright, well, I think that looks a lot better. Still some grime I can get off of it. I'm not too worried about stuff getting wet. I plan on pulling this engine apart and going through it anyway. Still a little bit left on the covers. Not too worried about that because I'm going to clean these up because I plan on color matching them to the truck when I'm done. I'm going to let this dry. Then I'm going to pressure wash the slab and move on to the next thing. Alright, so I got the oil pan off. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this oil pickup tube. So I got a new oil pan to put in it from Holley. It comes with a new pickup tube, and I think you have to change some of the baffling in it. I really don't know. I don't remember what part number that is. I bought that oil pan like maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember the part number. It's probably on the invoice somewhere. But I'm not going to put the new oil pickup tube in it yet because I just want to mock it up. I just want to put the pan on it so I can test fit it in the truck because I'm pulling the engine back out and I'm going to go through anyway. So it looks like the one bolt that's holding on the pickup tube is a 10 and the one bolt that's holding on the bracket is a 13. So I actually don't know anything about this LS other than I traded a 5.3 from my buddy Jesse that was completely disassembled for this one from my buddy John because it was already complete, had all the parts. He said it was out of a running truck, two-wheel drive Silverado. He thinks it was a 2003. Ooh, don't drop that in there. Other than that, I don't know anything about this engine. I don't know the miles on it. Okay, let's take this off. Oh, never mind. I lied. There's one more bolt right there. I don't always lie, but when I do, it's a big one. Okay, now this should come off. It's so weird how GM only has one bolt hole for the pickup tube when it's drilled and tapped for 2 bolts. Alright, so I think the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean up the surface a little bit with some brake clean. just so when I put the pan on for mock-up, it stays kind of clean. Let's see. Remember that you have to. Oh, I think I remember what it is. I think you have to cut out. I think you have to cut out the front section of this. Okay, so I think for now I'm just gonna take off this tray maybe on the inside. Should have been more prepared. I didn't want to use my impact because I messed up the end of it and I didn't want the bolts to fall or the nuts to fall into the engine. I just did the old school way. Okay. Let's take a look in here. Don't see anything too crazy. Anyway, let's see if this will fit now. I hope this fits. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I think that you have to cut part of that tray out, at least up to here. I remember watching a video on it. You have to cut out that tray. Alright, so I cleaned up some of the hardware. I'm going to throw some of the hardware back in. Actually, I'm going to throw it all in so I don't lose it. Alright, so I got the pan on. I just threw all the hardware back in it for now. Obviously nothing is torqued to spec, it's just all kind of hand tight. That way I don't lose any of the hardware. Now I just need to flip the engine back over, get it back in the shop, pressure wash the rest of the oil off of the ground here, keep it clean. And I'm not really sure what to do after that because I don't have an engine hoist yet to put into, or I don't have an engine hoist to put the engine into the truck to test fit it. Zach and I are going to go buy one of those soon. The one that we had was Daniel's, so we got to go get our own. So I have no idea if I'll be able to flip this engine back over by myself. Turn it out, bitch. Keep getting stuck. Got oil leaking out of everywhere. Okay, I did it. Besides all the struggling and grunting, that was easy. Alright, now clean this mess up. Alright, I got her back inside next to Zach's JZ. I definitely had to fix the wheels. They're loose, and so when you go to roll them, they kick in and they dig into the ground. Those caster wheels are ass. But that's just a personal problem, I think. But I think that's really it. I can't really do anything else right now. I think the next thing that we need is an engine hoist, and then I can start test fitting the engine, and then I can do the next steps. Don't know what the next video will be. We got lots of stuff going on around the shop. Lots of projects. I'm gonna shower and go to bed. Peace out, dudes. And girls, if there's any girls, but I highly doubt it.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney.